there's no reason Ben Simmons can't do the shit that Giannis is doing.
But I don't think he can ever be, and at this point, because we still haven't really seen it, but I don't think he's going to be that dude that takes you over the top. Like, we can win a championship with this guy.
Shit.
It really depends on the team. Because if the Warriors got him.
They doing that right now with the 76ers. Why you think they all going back on what they saying? Because there's nothing out there that they can trade that's going to replace that void. Because without him, they ain't on shit. Doc Rivers ain't going on TV to say.
You're right. But they still got Joel Embiid that they can lean on. That's a championship motherfucker, though.
No, he's not.
They didn't even make it to the conference.
He's
finals.
not. Without Ben Simmons
to win a championship.
Without Ben Simmons,
definitely take a Joel Embiid.
Without Ben Simmons, they got swept by the Celtics.
Why he do this? Now he's telling us nobody's saying they would take Ben over Joel, but Ben Simmons can put you over the top. He's at his worst. He's still an all NBA. I mean, he's still an all defensive, all-star player in the league. At his worst,
no doubt.
So what are we talking about?
I'm saying, like I said before, I believe with that Philly team, they could have a lesser point guard than Ben Simmons, and they could still win a championship with that squad.
So you would take, if the Nuggets came in and they put a package, it's a package. They're not doing this head up. But Monte Morris is now your starting point guard.
A starting quality point guard. I'm not saying he got to be
all Monte Morris is starting quality. He only comes off the bench because he's with the Nuggets, but he's a great backup. He's a great backup.
He's got to be more than Monte.
You're right. He's a great backup.
So he's already in a team that I believe can already get to that. Him adding that is like another chance. If he's doing this thing,
what do you mean by that?
I think that team without Ben Simmons, and like I said, lesser point. Say they have Malcolm Brogdon or some, even a little bit less than that. I'm trying to think of a name.
Malcolm Brogdon is perfect.
Right. I think they're a championship team.
You do?
Yes.
So you think Malcolm Brogdon, Embiid, Tobias Harris is taking down the Nets, Bucks, Heat?
I'm saying is I believe in Embiid. It's very hard to stop him. It's gonna be harder to double Embiid when you have somebody who shoots 40% from outside.
I'm a person who likes that trade.
Yeah.
But I ain't saying that them motherfuckers is championship guys. No. I still think they behind Brooklyn, behind Milwaukee, probably behind Miami. We haven't seen them play them, probably, and
damn near behind the Hawks because they just lost to the Hawks with Ben Simmons.
We're not gonna go why they just lost. Obviously, it was a bunch of reasons why they lost, but the main reason was Ben Simmons.
And out of them bunch of the reasons, you're gonna have Ben Simmons in the mix, but you're gonna have some of the other players. You can't look me in my face and tell me 100% reason why them motherfuckers lost was because of Ben Simmons.
They had a damn good chance to win those games if he would have played a little bit better. But like I said,
that be the problem. When people have a point, they're going to overly do it. That's the Ben Simmons clause. You overly try to make your point and go out to say that's not factual. That's not factual. Without Ben Simmons, they not even in that fucking position. That's a fact.
Yep.
Bro,
if Ben Simmons had twisted his ankle right before the playoffs came and couldn't play, them motherfuckers are not even there, Mike. Me and you picked the motherfuckers without him to beat the Celtics, and they didn't even win a game. Not one game. You know who also wasn't on shit?
Tobias Harris.
He was on his ass. You know who also had a game in the Hawks series? Tobias Harris. So, yes, Ben Simmons is a part of the problem. Nobody who defends Ben Simmons is saying that he's exempt and he's this motherfucking new LeBron and you can't say shit about him. No. Ben, you need to shoot. You need to be more aggressive. You can't be missing 10 free throws. Hell yeah, that's bogus as hell. But the narrative that ain't why Tobias Harris went 2 of 11. Ben Simmons ain't the reason why Joel Embiid had 0 field goals with 4 free throws in the second half of a game as an MVP candidate against Clint Capella. 4 for 20% from the field as a big, the most dominant big in the paint in our game right now.
I think both of y'all are right, though. What are y'all are saying are right, but I think both of y'all are taking it to the extreme on both sides.
What extreme am I taking? Because the 76ers aren't where they at without Ben Simmons.
I don't think he denied that fact. I think he was just saying if Ben Simmons plays better in that series, that 7-game series is over. If Ben Simmons plays a little better, he never, at least as far as when I started listening, he didn't say that the series was lost solely because of Ben Simmons.
I argued that and he said shit. It damn near is. He literally said that.
I said he was the main reason. I said there's a lot of reasons that went down, but he was the main reason.
Right. Tobias Harris had a game that was bad. It was one game. Looking back on the series. Joel had a performance that was bad. It was one game.
But I'm asking you a question. You know how many games they were waiting from advancing?
1 game. But Ben Simmons had 6 games.
You think he had 6
That
games?
Well, if he can't score in the fucking second half in the fourth quarter, that's something.
They
when you're on the court with 10.
They won games that same way, though.
For
They
sure.
blew a lot
For
of
sure.
leads. They were up a lot in a lot of those games.
For sure.
too.
They won games that same exact way.
They sure did.
That's not a recipe to win those damn. If you're talking about a team that they should have beat and they're gonna play better teams, you can't have your second best player just going basically almost scoreless in the second half.
But what if you won games like that? That means you're.
That don't. But that's still.
Obviously,
you can.
y'all.
Yeah,
obviously, y'all.
No.
y'all,
I'm answering your question.
But you don't understand. You can't understand.
Okay,
my
I'm
question.
listening.
So if you can win games that way, right? Say sure, you want him to be more aggressive. But if you did win games with a nigga only scoring 4 points,
If he's giving me those 4 points,
Wait, no. I want to finish hearing your question.
that's if a nigga can win a game with 4 points, that means you're extremely better than that team. He didn't average 4 points. I'm just giving y'all that because I saw they won game 2, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he only had 4 points, only 4 points, and they beat the hell out of them. So if you are that good, you can beat their ass. And he had games where he didn't even score 4 points, and they whooped their ass.
What is your question?
So what's the problem?
That's not enough.
If you can still. How if you got
to win a series, you can get by as an organization, as a team, with one of your players having off games. That's where you have Steph Curry coming in and dropping 30. But you want your star players to do more than that.
Obvious, but that's obvious. You
Right.
don't have to say that. That's
So
obvious.
I'm still confused.
Who
Do you understand what this question is?
I think the main question was is if Ben Simmons puts you over the hump.
No, that's the main question. But I'm saying on good ass teams, as good as Philly, there's plenty of those type of teams. Because last year, in my mind, they were a championship contender.
For sure.
Where you can have one of your key players maybe not have his best series and still win the series over a team that you're. Because on paper, and when we looked at it, they were way better than the Hawks. Come on, people. Come on.
Especially without
We have
Hunter and
seen
Reddish.
teams
I'm
that
gonna give the Hawks credit too, because we were looking at the Hawks. So, they're a good.
We
team.
were.
But the Hawks turned out a lot better.
They
than
were.
we
They
thought
were. They were. That's a fact. That's a fact. And anybody trying to, that's a fact. Only people that was picking them like that was probably Hawk fans. But that's what I'm saying. We've seen teams, really good teams, how we thought Philly was, have a player that may not have their best series, but because they were substantially better than the opponent they were playing against, they got by. That's all. Because the theory is that the reality, I mean, not the theory, is that Ben Simmons wasn't finna come in and average a dub. He averaged 14. He was never finna come in and shoot 80%. Y'all, that was Ben the whole year. He had spurts where he gave Rudy the game or whatever.
But even then, I don't think the expectation for Ben Simmons for that series for me was not for him to come in and average 20. It was for him to be the best version of himself or even close to it.
Right.
If he's the average version of himself, they win that series in 7.
For sure.
But he wasn't that.
For sure.
That's the point.
For sure. I can agree with that. With the Ben Simmons situation, he's one of the only players where a motherfucker would look at what they don't do. Out of all the things you could do on a basketball court, for a nigga like you that love defense as much as you ain't said shit about his defense this whole conversation.
Because everybody knows that.
Everybody knows about Rudy, but anytime Rudy come up, that's all you talk about.
He's one of my favorite players, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ben Simmons is one of my
But
favorite
everybody knows that. But yeah, you say it,
Yeah.
right? But because but Ben Simmons, you're gonna harp on what a motherfucker can't do.
But
when we talk about Rudy, I don't hear you just harping on what Rudy can't do.
But it is
Because that's how it is with Ben Simmons. And
It's
I'm not
different.
saying, and I'm not, that ain't to call you out. It's just that's what a lot of people do with Ben Simmons. They just go right at that.
I think what makes a difference is that he's a lead guard. And what he can do is glaring when teams are playing a certain way. And Rudy Gobert's deficiency was glaring in the playoffs too.
I was
and
gonna say.
what I come in here in this podcast
say.
to say, him not being able to take advantage of a small man thing is fucking dreadful for a nigga that's 7'1".
But when we pointed that out, you argued and pushed back on me and Mike because of his defense. You ain't just stopped there and just only harp. There was pushback on there. You came
About
in
his offense,
and
or
letting
were
him
you talking
know,
about-
hey, but man, Rudy. No, the point is, when we talked about the glaring part, you brought up that it was a but because he sold this on the defensive side.
I just think
They
it's
ain't the same but with Ben Simmons.
I
They
think
both
it's
have
different
glaring
because
things.
the game is run through Ben as a lead guard. I think it's different.
I
It's
think
not-
their game is ran through Joel Embiid.
he's the primary ball handler is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, yeah.
And it's a little bit different because the top performance offensively for this team is Donovan Mitchell and him being the lead ball handler. And it's harder to mask what Rudy Gobert can do on the offense side of the ball because he also has 4 other people on the court that are ball handlers that can shoot the ball. It's not necessarily the same for Ben Simmons because he's looked at as the lead guard, the guy that's bringing the ball up the court, and the way his coaching has been for the majority of his career, when he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's not doing shit.
Yeah.
That's part of Ben Simmons. That's part of the coaching revolving around Ben Simmons.
And that shit hurts him. That shit hurts his team.
And nobody, not once, is arguing that.
Yeah.
Of course, I would love for them to be able to play a pick and roll, but they can't do that. But all I'm saying is, with the Ben Simmons effect or the syndrome, is a motherfucker just only going to talk about the glaring thing. But when you have other players, like a Rudy, it's going to be a but. And that's all I'm saying. Ben Simmons does have glaring deficiencies.
Big
no
ones.
doubt about
It's
it.
the biggest in
A
the league.
person
And it's just like a guard that can't shoot. It's Ben Simmons. Like
Exactly.
And
Nobody's
nobody's
gonna argue that.
You're not arguing at all. We talking about like before the pod, like that little joke where I was saying like it don't be 15 feet
Right.
a space between him and the next player. Like that shit is terrible.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
you think
it's
about
real.
it, shit like that. Like think about him trying to look for Seth Curry coming off the screen, and it's a
Next prediction. Question.
Ben Simmons is MVP candidate.
That's bold.
I was thinking about this because you said this a few episodes
I'm gonna
ago.
continue to say it a lot.
I had Giannis, Jokic, drum roll please. What's that light skinned boy name?
Devin Booker.
Hell no, you thought it was him. I thought all y'all gonna think it was him. Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, baby. I mean, the dude is just incredible. I mean, he's a future Hall of Fame point guard. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna get that around that's PPG.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
He gonna jump from
Around
15?
16.
16, okay.
So yeah, I mean, if 18, 19, 20, that's around 20, ain't it? You know what I'm saying?
He's not the best player on his team.
I agree with you.
He's not.
We agree as a podcast.
I
Look at the
agree.
top 50 list.
I agree.
Maybe this is the year he overtakes the reins.
Yeah, that's bold.
Because bees.
It's a mon- I mean,
Who is better on the Lakers team? Shaq or Kobe?
probably Shaq.
Shaq.
Right. But Kobe still had the numbers to be an MVP.
But he only got it.
he got it without him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because
But I'm just saying he nah.
it's an argument.
Like you said, he had the numbers to do it, but he never did it, even though Shaq did, because Shaq was the better player in
Shaq was just the bigger name.
also the better at that time he was the better player than Kobe. Let's be real.
He was, but kinda. About this much. This much.
Because we talk about, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old Kobe or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Shaq was the better player at that point.
But I feel like he was good because of Kobe.
I mean,
I don't think that's
you
true.
can say that, but I feel
They
like
play off
don't-
each other
they
for
don't
sure.
I feel like they don't necessarily coordinate.
Because
Shaq would have still dominated.
Shaq was dominating before Kobe.
Shaq
Yeah.
and Kobe dominated without him.
Yeah. They're both very dominant players in
But
history.
after they went this ways, no, Shaq had won a championship.
And he was also like 30 at that point,
Yeah.
old. So I mean, both players are amazing. Both players did their thing in their own right, but like, that's bold. Would have been the whole Ben Simmons thing.
I'm taking
Very,
Ben Simmons.
very bold.
I like it. He got the style for it, man. I'm telling you.
The reason why I'm just saying no to this is because can he have a 25 PPG type season?
But the way he plays, does he need it?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Because Russell Westbrook needed 30, 10, and 10.
That's
James
because his
Harden
team-
needed
but
38 and
but
8.
look at his team though. Russell team was a 6 seed,
Right.
so he needed skyrocket numbers.
Well, okay, James Harden was the 1 seed. He didn't need skyrocket
But
numbers.
he didn't need them.
What about who won you before that? That was Steph Curry.
James Harden didn't win MVP because he averaged 30.
Right.
He averaged
Best player on the
MVP.
best team.
Yeah. So I mean, the Sixers are gonna be good, and Ben Simmons gonna put up numbers, crazy numbers, and it ain't gonna be just points. He gonna have his shit spread out, and if he continue to play the defense that we seen him doing, Doncic, shit, they gonna be straight.
He's gonna have a good year. I don't think he have an MVP type year.
21, 22 points.
There's just so many players above him.
I want to
You
see.
just-
yeah,
When's the
I
last
got-
time somebody averaged 21 and won an MVP? Like, I don't think this ever happened.
He's
Well,
not.
Steve Nash.
Oh yeah, he averaged less than 20.
Right, he averaged less than that.
Um,
But that was 15 years ago.
Then we talking what 8 or 9 assists, maybe 10 assists. He averaged 8 last year. I'm sorry,
But that's not even really that impressive when we talking MVP anymore.
Anytime you average 10 assists,
No, it's impressive, but like for MVP, if you say you average 10, you'd be like, okay, like that's okay. But what else did he do?
nah, it's still impressive.
No,
It was a bold prediction.
It is a bold prediction, but like
I can't see Ben Simmons doing it just because one thing is, like you said, the points per game. I don't know if he can get over 20 a game.
You don't know if he can score 20 points a night?
I don't know.
I would say his max at this point is probably like 22-ish. I think he can average 22.
Now that's different than saying he can't average 20. That's a bold ass prediction.
Didn't he average 18 last year?
Nah, I think he averaged
16.
16, 8, and 8.
He can get up to 20.
The 76ers?
Yeah.
No way in hell.
Make the case. Let me hear it. What do they have that
That
competes?
backcourt.
John Wall.
You know who in the Sixers backcourt, right?
Ben Simmons and Robert Covington.
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick.
Who from the Wizards backcourt is better than Ben Simmons?
What? John Wall.
I agree there. I never agree with that point.
And Bradley Beal's better than JJ Redick.
I could agree with that too.
So
He left off the five.
All right, so it's a 3-man show now.
So what does he mean? That's literally right. Like I'm not wrong.
Come back and make your case that Ben Simmons is better.
Can I cool down first?
Yeah, you could cool down. All right.
Can you tell me why Ben Simmons not better?
He's not a better scorer. I couldn't say he's a better leader than John Wall yet.
No.
Defensively, I would still take John Wall.
I think he's a better
Playmaking, I think they would be on the same level, if anything.
After 1 year, they're on the same level.
Playmaking.
On playmaking.
That is
That's it. The only one playmaking.
They can't really hear you, though. And coming back to the set, we have Pee Wee the plug.
I'm still taking John Wall, but it's
see what I'm
just
saying?
I know what you're saying because I be thinking about it too. Like he's only a rookie, and we comparing him.
Yeah, but we're
You
talking
can
about
make
right
an
now. We're
argument.
not talking about the future. We're talking about right now. Who's better?
But what does that mean
Listen.
though? If he's a rookie at the same level as almost a John Wall,
I'm gonna let y'all go ahead.
that's what I'm trying to say.
The only way they're on the same level is playmaking. Like they both kind of have the same.
At rebounding,
Simmons- I
Ben
think
Simmons is a
Ben
better
Simmons with the
rebounder.
rebounder.
You gonna roll out the? What you mean?
I
That's
rolled
the
your
aspect
eyes.
of
I
it.
mean, I rolled my eyes because sure, it's cool, but like, it's the point guard. Does John Wall really need to be a good rebounder?
He rebounds well for a point guard.
Yes,
Come
he
up to
does.
the mic.
He rebounds well.
He
for a
does,
point
but
guard.
he doesn't need to be. You know, that's
Being
not
a good rebounder.
that's not
It's pretty crucial in this part of the game.
Hey,
Everybody's trying to run.
You think
gives you
the
that
advantage? So
If
every
Ben Simmons catches that board off the glass.
Stephen Curry isn't an amazing rebounder, but we list him as number one.
who's in
He's
the
not number one to me.
Who?
Russell Westbrook's my number one guy. I mean, if you tell me you on Steph, then I can't be mad at you.
Yeah.
But I feel like
That's why I say a lot of those people at the top two, like you said,
rank your point guard. I mean, just give me the top point guards in the league right now.
Russell Westbrook
Russell
and Steph
Westbrook.
Curry.
Okay, but after that we got like John Walls,
Kyrie.
Damian Lillard, Kyrie.
David Lillard.
Are
Only
you
two.
taking, you taking John Wall over Kyrie?
No, we're
Yes.
just naming elite. We just that was your question. Okay, we're just naming elite. Only one of those people are elite rebounders at the point guard position, and they're all elite. Rebounders, yes, it does help that Russell Westbrook gets the rebound and they go, but it's not essential.
What did you saying? No, nobody's saying it's essential, but it's a part of basketball. So we mentioned, and this is another thing that Ben Simmons can do.
Okay, but like, yeah, but I think it's very minute.
3-point shooting is not
But like
essential, but
that rebounding helps him at his best part of his game, which is in the open court.
Okay, what else case y'all got? Because I'm still on John Wall over Ben Simmons in 2018.
no comments or none of y'all was saying made me change my mind, because as everybody know, when I say what I mean and mean what I say. But I owe John Wall, my guy, an apology, because as of August 14th, 2018, Ben Simmons is not better than him. Ben Simmons might be better than him 3 months from now. He might be better than him 4 months from now. But as of right now, he is not better than John Wall. John Wall is, John Wall. So
That's
That's the first time I've ever seen Pierre go back.
John Wall, my boy.
apologize.
At 21, we have Ben Simmons.
Oh, sheesh.
yeah. You had him very, very high.
Where he needed to be.
Huh?
Well, I don't
Where do
know.
y'all have him? I'll wait to say where I had him when y'all see y'all.
I think I had him around 22 to 25 range.
Yeah, I think I had him around there too.
I had him 15th.
Ben Simmons is a very good player, but he has the tools to be like a
If you-
great
if he
player.
has
But I think
tools,
he just hasn't
If
reached that
Draymond
potential yet.
was 15th on somebody else's list, me having Ben Simmons 15 on the list.
Both are
not
high as
wild.
hell. He has tools, but
Yeah.
we want
That's
him
what I'm saying.
to.
He's got to
use
just learn
them.
how to utilize it.
Right.
You know, this is a guy with the 6'10" frame that can naturally just rebound the ball, push the tempo, find open man. Like he has so much, but I think he just has to unlock it, and we have to see it.
Yep.
And all that kind of comes with like him being able to hit like a 15-footer.
Yeah, definitely. But
And even that, I mean, he's averaging very good.
That's
You know,
what-
He's almost a
all around
20 he's almost a
far, but that's what
20-point
I'm saying.
scorer.
What
That's
I
what I'm
love
saying.
about Ben
He could be
Simmons
great
is
though.
even without the shit that everybody nags about, he's still damn near giving you a triple double.
Yeah,
He's
he-
still an all-star elite
All-star.
player. He still plays a big role on a very good team.
Mm-hmm.
So the shit that everybody says he lacks, if he adds it, we looking at a player that's generational.
Even if he doesn't add a jump shot, I need him to add overall aggression.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have him go 2 quarters where he doesn't do
Attempt
Ben
a
Simmons
shot.
things.
Yeah.
I don't know. We saw that in the playoffs where like when the pace slows down, he kind of just sits around.
And also it
that's what I'm
depends on the
saying.
matchup. It
This
depends
is
on the
where he
matchup
needs
for
to
him
find
too.
himself in that
We've
playoffs.
also seen him take over shit and come out and have monster games when like Joel Embiid ain't playing. We've seen him like say, okay, he ain't playing. I got to turn my shit
Right.
up to another level and come out and dog from the start.
Exactly. That's why I
Yeah,
need to
we
see
want
that
that
aggression.
knob.
I want to
We
see
want
that
that knob.
most
Yeah,
of the
we
time.
want that
We've
knob
seen
all the
without Embiid being there. So
Right, so
I'm just trying to correlate those two. I'm
Right,
not saying
so
they
you're
have
saying
a
that-
problem together, but it's different when he comes on the court and knows I don't have. Here's a guy that's 20 shots is not open for me because he's not here. That's like the more the ball in my hand because he's not in there posting up holding the ball. That's just more of me. And yeah, I agree with y'all though, because if Joel Embiid is going to be there, which they're going to play together,
Right.
he has to be able to have that mindset with him being out there. So I agree with y'all on that point.
I'm very interested, right? I wish I could just Google like what's Ben Simmons' average when he's not playing alongside because I think that's a very
I think,
interesting.
I think that's a good
about
point
private
that
Google
P made though, because
probably could.
naturally when you are a playmaker, you're gonna try to get everybody going.
18,
But
13,
besides
6.
yourself, it's very rarely because I mean, I'm not trying to put nothing really into perspective. But even Pierre does that. Like naturally, he's just a playmaker, so he's gonna look for the open guys. But maybe he should have just took a shot. I think as a playmaker in this league now, where point guards need to be aggressive, you really got to find that balance to become effective.
I think that's a tribute. I mean, an attribute that we as media and as fans.
This is
need
the
to-
big game. 23, 15, and 10. 15 assists and 10.
Come on, man.
They-
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
But you want to know what's crazy? His plus minus was minus 12
With that stat line,
with that stat line.
they won.
And they lost. They lost by 2. That's insane.
Oh, I'm talking about the playoffs. He had a crazy game in the playoffs where he had like 30 something.
Wasn't it after like he didn't do nothing like the first game? And
Yeah,
then
it was that
yeah.
first game in Philly. He got booed off the floor. Him and JJ Redick. And then the second game, he's like, okay, I'm gonna come out here and play aggressive.
And
You know?
then it was a game in Brooklyn
Sheesh, they lost.
after him and
Because he got booed off. They got booed off, right?
No. That game they got booed off was the first game of the series, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he had a game in Brooklyn where he had the putback dunk before halftime. He was all that shit. That's when he looked at that meme when he looked at Jared Dudley crazy. But yeah, I think that attribute of finding that balance, when you look at a guy like Dame Lillard, he straddles that balance
Right.
good.
This is the 31-9
Right.
and 4 game in the playoffs without Joel being there.
See, the thing with Ben Simmons is we talk about
gave you
the
31 with no jumpers. No jump. Like think about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's hard to keep saying that he only just needs a jumper, but that's what makes a lot of these guards that do have that balance so good. Is especially late in the game, they can get a shot up for themselves and make that big bucket.
I think, man, if that man get like consistent jump, or if he's shooting how he's shooting in these workout
Yeah,
videos and stays
it's
healthy.
two people in the league. It's literally Giannis and Ben Simmons. If they have like a consistent jumper, you look at like, damn, it's over.
That's what I'm saying about Ben
It's
Simmons
over.
because like Giannis doesn't have a Joel Embiid. So he's an MVP level player because he doesn't have that. So if you put Ben Simmons in a situation night in, night out, where he has
he has to. It's mandatory. He go gets those rebounds, those assists. He has to put points on the board. Yeah.
Giannis.
The problem is we may never ever see that.
Exactly.
Like if Ben Simmons had like a Brooke Lopez on his team, I don't
Or
think.
just not have a Joel Embiid. Just not have a Joel Embiid. Because if
Right.
you put Joel Embiid on the Bucks, he's a Greek freak. Especially early in his career. Ever since Ben Simmons got to Philly, he's had a guy over him.
Yeah.
Every since
How old
he's
is Ben
joined the team.
Simmons now? He is
22.
23.
Yeah.
23.
Older than Devin Booker. So our shit is the same.
I think Derek had Ben Simmons pretty low.
I did.
What do you have?
32.
Oh,
32.
Sheesh.
He almost had a walk.
32? Who's at 31 for you?
31 for me?
Yeah.
Nikola Vucevic.
30.
Tobias.
Oh, Tobias is better than him on his own team? That's insane.
My bad, y'all. I had to go get the remote. It's a TV back here. I'm gonna type in Ben Simmons. So for the rest of this episode, he can watch. Cause he ain't watching enough.